Today we're going to be making a Valentine's Day pop-up card. The front can look like this, and the inside, when you open it up, will look like a little flower garden like this. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to make it. We're going to work on the flower garden first, and then if you get that done and you still have time, you can work on the front, making it like that. And if you don't have time to do the front, you can do the front later. But we want to get these up to on Artsonia, and this is going to look really cool as a photograph like this, with all the hearts hearts and flowers popping up. So you're going to start with two pieces of paper. It doesn't matter what color they are. Either one works. I'm going to have blue for the outside of my card and purple for the inside of my card. So first things first, fold them in half the hamburger way. Okay, this is the inside one. And fold this one in half the hamburger way as well. This is the outside one, and on the outside one, please write your name, your first name, Mr., your last name, Lundgren. Okay, you're going to write yours there, and then write your section. Let's pretend this is 4th grade Ditmar, so that whoever is photographing it knows who you are and what class you're in your section. Okay, set this one aside for the moment. Then open this one up, and we're going to have to cut it. Okay, if you look at this one, it's got a bunch of different cuts on the inside of it. I kind of hold this way. You can kind of see the zigzaggy situation going on in there, and we need to kind of replicate that. So what we're going to do, you're going to take your scissors, and you're going to cut 2 lines. Okay, 1, 2, right in the middle. So you have like 3 even squares. 1 square, 2 squares, 3 squares. And you're going to bend the 1 and the 3 up like this and like this. Okay, so you've got the 1 and the 3 bent up. And you're going to unbend them. You're going to kind of open up the book and fold it inside. And fold those 2 inside and leave that one folded out. So you've got these 2 folded in like that. So you can kind of see them now. It's like this boxy kind of deal. Then you're going to cut 2 more slits in each of them. So you're going to pretend this is like that full sheet of paper like we just had. And you're going to snip just the end. Now, as far as snipping, you don't want to snip past this fold, otherwise it'll fall apart. So you have to make your snips smaller. And you just want to have it snipped. Here, I better draw it on there for you. Like this, 1 snip on the side and 1 snip, and if you feel your paper, you can feel where that ridge is. Okay, so I have 1 snip here and 1 snip there, so that you're going to have this, and if I peel it back, you'll have this little pop-up and this little pop-up in the front and the back. So I'm going to snip those once and twice, and then as you open that up, you're going to fold this one on the bottom. Here's those 2 snips we just made. You're going to fold this one forward and fold this one forward. Okay, so that they're even. Then you're going to kind of scrunch this one down and fold this one forward to the same height. Okay, so they're kind of both folded the same. Okay, so it's kind of an accordion zigzag fold. So if I open it up now, you can see that accordion fold here, the one fold there, and the other one there. So you've got it like that. Alright, then what you do is you glue your flowers to these front-facing boxes. Okay, first things first, you're going to take your card, the back or the front part of your card, sorry, the outside part of your card, and you're going to glue this inside of it. Okay, so you have to take this, and whatever you want to be the front or the popping up part is going to be on the front without your name. Your name's on the back, right? To make sure this works and you don't glue these pop-up pieces down, you're going to use the glue, and you're only going to glue the stuff that's out. Okay, all the stuff that's hiding inside, you don't want to put any glue on, otherwise it won't pop up. So here's this, here's my fold. Put my fold right there so it matches my fold. Okay, and then I'm going to glue this part fold it over so that part gets glued together. Now as you're letting that dry, okay, there's my fold part. As you're letting that dry, you can start working on some flowers. One cool thing about this collage is you're going to make some flowers. I'm going to show you how to make this tulip flower, and then I'll show you how to make hearts too. Is you're going to take a couple strips of paper, and just scraps. You don't need any particular size or shape, just ones that are big enough so that you can cut them into the shapes you want. And I'm going to show you that make sure you have all your pieces the same way here, and you can make a bunch of different things of the same thing. So I'm going to make my tulip. You make a U with a W on top. Okay, and that's a tulip. A U with a W on top. So we've got 2 tulips there. Now I've got 4 pieces overlapped over the top of each other, so if I take these and I cut out my tulips, I'll have 8 tulips when I'm done. So you can make a lot of flowers or hearts or whatever it is really easily, really quickly, and fill in that flower garden pretty fast. There's 4 tulips, and here's 4 tulips. Okay, so I've got 8 tulips. These little teeny scraps, you can put them in the recycling so that they're not all over the place. I'm going to do the same thing with some hearts here. And as you know, hearts are symmetrical, so they might be a little bit harder to manufacture. So I'm going to take 2 at one time, fold it in half, and I'll draw this on here so you can see it. Make sure you try to use as much of the paper as you can. Okay, if you can do these freehand and you don't need to draw them, by all means just do them freehand. That goes quicker. I'm drawing it for the sake of the demonstration, but there's 2 hearts. If I do it again and make some that are just a little bit smaller, okay, like so, and I'm going to do it freehand now. Okay, here's 2 more. And I'll make some pink ones. Here's some old scrap paper. Just going to take 1 scrap there, and I'll take another scrap here. Okay, notice how these are like literally crunched up, wrinkled, old scraps, alright, that no one is going to be using. I'm going to cut 1 from here, and I'll cut another little teensy one from here so we have a couple different sizes. Okay. And here they all are. Lay them all out here. You can kind of see all of them. And now I'm going to start gluing them onto my card. Okay. You should have at your seat, or your table rather, a bunch of these long strips. Okay. These long strips that I cut out, you can get about 3 or 4 flowers out of each of them, because the flowers can't really be that long, because if you have them super long in the front, they'll overlap first ones, and if they're super long in the back, they'll get smushed out of the card. So you can fold this in half once and cut it, and then fold it in half again and cut those, and you'll have 4 flowers. Okay, and I'm going to do that again with 2 strips at the same time, so I've got all my flowers ready. So I'm going to fold it in half once, fold it in half twice, and now I'm going to have 8 little scraps there for my gluing. So I'm going to do this kind of en masse here. I'm going to take all my little scraps and glue them all together. Remember, for your glue bottle, you're going to have to pull off that little chunk of glue. Okay, and here we go. I'm going to start gluing. 1 little dribble on the bottom of each of my grass or stem pieces. Okay, there's a bunch of them. I'll get started. One in the back. And of course, you're going to have to put on however many you have time for. You know, if you only have time for 3 or 4 of them, that's how many you're going to put on. If you have time for more, great. Okay, there they are glued down. The more you put on, obviously, the cooler it will look. But if you don't have time to get them all on, well, you don't have time. Alright, so do whatever you've got time for. Make it look as cool as you possibly can make it. But if you don't have time to make a million flowers, you just have time to make 3 or 4, well, that's all we got time for. Okay, so here we go. The rest of my stems. And don't make them all straight up and down. Make some of them tilted to one side or the other. It'll make it look more interesting in the long run. There we go. So I've got a bunch of flowers now. Got them in the back, got them in the front, got them tilted here and there. So we've got a bunch all over the place. Okay, now I'm going to take my tulips, because I've got the most of those. Because remember, I cut up 8 altogether. I thought. There we go. There's my 8 little tulips. I'm just going to take glue and put a little dab on the back of each one. And I'm going to kind of evenly place them. 1, 2. You can make these symmetrical or asymmetrical, whatever fits your sensibility. Kind of trying to get them all over the place so I can kind of evenly put my other flowers in. My other heart flowers. I'm going to leave that one out for the moment just so I have an odd number. So I've only got 7 on there, right? And here's my hearts. Get all the glue on my hearts and glue my hearts on. I would suggest you have a variety, some hearts, some tulips, so that they're even, but so that they look nice, and so that you kind of get the idea of both hearts and tulips. So you have flowers and hearts. You know, this is for Valentine's Day, right? So hearts are big on Valentine's Day. And I thought I had another stem here, but perhaps I'm mistaken. Alright, so I'm out of stems, so I'll just leave these 2, my little heart and my other one, done. So there's the inside of the card. Okay, please don't write anything on the inside of the card yet, because when we photograph it for Artsonia, we want to have just the flower bed kind of deal sticking out. Okay, so don't write anything, but in the future you might want to write here for Valentine's Day for Mom and Dad or whoever else, you know, your message would probably go right here on the ground. So that's the inside of our flower bed card.